Hey everyone, Brian Von VA here, back at it again with another story. Today we've got bad luck and why you should never use the deck of many things. It will stab you in the back. I was playing a tiefling sorcerer artificer named Patience Lelebreve. Patience had a daughter at a young age with her secret fiancé. She was an attendee to two very famous sisters, and she'd fallen in love with their younger brother. When her father found out about the scandal, he took her back home and locked her away until she had her daughter. Right after she was born, her daughter was taken away and given to her father and his sisters, and Patience was sent across the country to be married and trained. She lived comfortably for 10 years with her new husband in a city where they owned an apothecary, when she received a letter from her ex-fiancé about their daughter. She'd been sent to a magical school and was being held there as a specimen in the research of magic. Did I steal this from Firefly? You will never know. The DM wanted to create a new race, a mix of fiendish and celestial blood, and the daughter would be his test subject. Her father was an ASMR, and her mother was from a long line of tieflings with draconic blood. My character was obviously angry, and she left her husband to rescue her daughter. For some reason, she never fathomed the idea she could leave at any time. She wasn't stuck there, and she didn't have to listen to her father. At the age of 25, she finally realized she had free will. She was venturing to this school/research center when she met Vogan, a human monk. He was also on his way to the school to retrieve scrolls that had been stolen from his sanctuary. They traveled together, and while completing a task for Freeboard, they met Urinray, a Kenku druid, and Aisling, the elven ranger. The duo helped us complete our task and asked if they could travel with us as they were headed toward the same city. We thought the party was complete, but we had a late joiner, and halfway to the city of Ivywall, we met the halfling barbarian Nibs Pewterhorn, the Scottish-talking, feet-stomping, beer-chugging tank of the group. He was lonely and decided to tag along because the mountains he wished to defeat were in the general direction of Ivywall. Reaching the School of Iron Flame would set the ball rolling for the main plot of the campaign, but it took a long time as we kept getting sidetracked. We'd been on the road for about 6 months, and in that time, we'd reached level 6 and had become really close. We'd also managed to steal the scepter of a crazy old crone, get kicked out of many a tavern, defeat a minor sea serpent that was plaguing a town, anger a cult of monkey-worshipping goblins, and win a hammer like Molnir in a drinking game with a bunch of dwarves, which Nib now hefts around. We were finally just outside the gates of Ivywall when we came across a small camp of creepy old women who'd been thrown out of the city for being deformed, mentally ill, or accused of witchcraft. Some of these ladies were really sweet and just blind or crippled, but others were legit, "I'll sacrifice my grandchildren to Asmodeus." Creepy. They all lived in huts made of trash, and they'd formed a hunter-gatherer society outside the city. We stopped there for the night while we planned out our siege of Ironflame. Our DM decided this was a good time to spring the deck of many things on us. One of the old women, named Hilda, had a deck of many things in her possession, and promised us this deck was lucky, and that all the travelers that had visited her had come upon great fortune, and that there had been many before us. Vogan decided to test this theory first, and drew the star card from the deck. The sun meant he could choose an ability score and got to add 2 points, blah, blah, blah. He chose stealth as we were about to storm a heavily guarded boarding school for aristocratic children. He decided not to test his luck and went to find food. Then Urinray decided to have a go and drew 4 cards. Why would you do that? She drew balance, Urail, and by God's almighty luck, the Fates. The Fates card stops you from drawing any more cards, so she didn't receive her 4th. Balance changed her alignment from lawful neutral to chaotic neutral. Urail caused her to have a Medusa-like curse, and the Fates allowed her to undo or change any event in her life, which she used to undo the previous card. Me, being a dumb person, decided that drawing 5 cards to top Urinray would be a marvelous idea. We were always trying to one-up each other. Probably because as the only magic users in the campaign, we were fighting for dominance or something. The first card I drew was Sun, which gave me 10,000 XP and a magical item. The third card was the Fool, which took away all the previous XP, and I had to draw another 2 cards. I drew flames next, meaning a demon now had an extreme vendetta against me. Next, I drew skull, which summoned an avatar of death, which I know I had to kill alone. As you probably know, that you have to draw all your cards no longer than an hour after the previous one. Otherwise, all the remaining cards fly out and take effect right away. It took me a long time to kill this thing, and I chased it all the way out of Huttville. When he was dead, the DM informed me I had 3 minutes to draw my next card. I didn't make it. All at once, 3 cards were hovering in my face before exploding into nothingness. Void, Talons, and Quarter Moon. Instantly, all my non-magical items vanished, meaning personal jewelry, money, or anything that was of value. Then my soul was ripped from my body and trapped somewhere and had to be returned to my body. All because of the freaking Void card. Gibbous Moon meant that I got 2 wishes once my soul was returned to my body. The party then had to decide whether or not to venture into the astral plane to find my soul or to leave me to die. They decided to find my soul. The party then had to lug around my soulless meat sack trying to find someone who could locate my soul in the astral plane, which meant a large detour putting us months behind schedule. I joined the party as a temporary character, and after about a month of travel, we'd located my soul, and now all we needed was to get it back. We had to fight through undead and a whole bunch of minor demons because, remember, a demon now hated my guts and wanted anyone who helped me dead. After collecting everything needed for a binding ritual, we ventured into the astral plane and reattached my soul and body. I used my wishes to kill the demon that was trying to end me and save the other for a rainy day. Then we trekked right back to Huttville and burned that hag's hut down. And took her potions and stuff, as well as those cards. I tried to burn them, that didn't work. I tried to dissolve them in acid, that didn't work. So instead, we dug a 25-foot deep hole and put the cards in an enchanted box that could only be opened by my key. No brute force could break it. I really hated those cards, like, a lot. We then proceeded to take over a tavern and use it as our base. We kept the tavern goers as hostages for leverage. We failed a perception check and one of the hostages escaped. The human went and snitched on us to the Crown's Guard. My friends had gone to look for supplies. As I was still a little weak, I was keeping watch and being the only PC in the actual main room, I was the scapegoat. I was taken to the stocks and questioned. We lost our base, the whole city knew we were here, and my friends had to flee and rescue me again. Next, we attempted to sneak past the school's walls by setting off a catapult that would distract all the guards, giving us the window of time to sneak into the school. I got stuck in the catapult, and it turned into Angry Birds in D&D. I went flying over the wall and slammed into a tree. I was knocked unconscious in the middle of the school courtyard. I was again rescued by my friends. The final strain of bad luck came when we stormed the lab. I failed a stealth check and tripped on a table leg, causing a loud crash and for me to fall down. This drew attention to us. And as I was falling, I knocked over some sort of chemical which spilled on my body and I was prone for 3 rounds as nobody could get to me. In this time, I was knocked from 23 HP to 12. In the end, Aisling helped me escape from the lab and the 2 of us met Nibs in the corridor. We then made our way to the dungeons, kidnapped my PC's daughter, and made a run for it. Vogan and Urine Ray killed the bad guy and ran around trying to find the library in the dark, and then tried to find the scroll among hundreds of thousands of texts. We ran from Ivy Wall like our lives depended on it, which, for your information, it did, because our plan did not go well and the Crown's Guard were after us. We returned to my PC's family home, where she got into a huge fight with her ex and was banned from their home, and is no longer allowed to see her daughter. So yeah, it was an eventful few sessions, and my dice set was put in jail for a while. Things went really well after that. We even met a new friend, Kusai, who was killed not 2 sessions later, attempting to teleport. While they traveled with us, though, my party loved telling them the story of how they had to wash, feed, and dress my soulless flesh bag. Patience was probably the most unlucky character I ever played, to be honest. I have so many stories about her, but the Ivy Wall escapades were by far the worst. So, lessons we learned today, kids. Never trust creepy old crones and burn their huts down. Never trust a deck of many things. Don't give the DM ideas. Don't lose your soul. Hey everyone, it's me, Brian, your favorite voice actor from Ohio again. If you liked today's video, make sure to leave a like, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notified whenever we post a video. If you have a story that you'd like to submit to us, we'd love to read it, so check out our subreddit, r/MrRipper. And be sure to join our Discord if you'd like to ever find a group to play D&D or Pathfinder with. Links are in the description below. And if you're using a help action today, you can fire off some love to me, Brian Von VA, on YouTube, Twitter, and even TikTok, where I make voice acting videos and challenges, voice your D&D characters, and stream a lot of games. As always, I try to end everything on a positive. I wanted to say that I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, positivity can be repeated in many ways, but the amount of messages and comments I get about your mental health, physical health, and financial health, it warms me. I get to see that my voice has an impact on all of you, and that these stories help you get through the day, and that especially, you get to see the next sunrise. To each of you who message me or leave comments with harrowing stories of surgeries gone right or wrong, love that you found or lost, good promotions, or great or even bad test results, I'm right here with you, watching each passing sun and moon, and I will always be here. So you people, all of you, stay strong out there, be safe, be happy, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.